Alright, hello there. 4th of July weekend trip to do a little bit of game hunting. We had, of course, had the extended holiday weekend. So I was able to do a bit of game hunting. I was pretty happy to be able to do. Went back to, took the weekend, I went back to the flea market that I usually go to. It's one of the only ones that's open. So I was able to go back to that, and I also hit a few garage sales like I do. And of course I hit a few indoor flea markets and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to many pawn shops because, of course, they were closed for the holidays. But the first thing I wanted to show was this. This is actually a garage sale pickup. It was on an Ask. They had one Wii game, like a Wii, I think it was like UFC training or something like that. One of those, like, where it comes with a strap. But I asked about the games, and then the guy let me go take a look at what he had inside his house. And I actually spent a little bit of time there, like, talking to him, and we eventually got down to a price of $52 for everything here, which I think is pretty good. A little more than I'd like to spend on a Wii Bundle. But as you can see, there's a nice amount of games. None too crazy except for the top one there. And there's a Wii Motion Plus controller. And he kind of threw in this at-game stuff. This, I feel to hear that rattling, something rattling around in there. I really don't think these sell for anything. I think I've had one before, and I just like traded it into a shop for like a few dollars. But it did come with, of course, the power cable for it, 2 of the wireless controllers, and he had 2 Genesis games. Formula 1 with a big old rip on the front, and Super Monaco GP. So nothing too crazy there, but like I said, he really just kind of threw it in to the bundle there. But that out of the way. So yeah, I did have a controller. I want to say, let's even. Yeah, I think this is actually a third-party controller. Yeah. So like a third-party black remote. And the Motion Sensor Plus. Then he did have a Wii Motion Plus black Wiimote, dirty, but it's alright. 2 nunchucks. Oh yeah, one might be third party because, you know, on here it has Nintendo, and here it doesn't. But that's alright. And obviously the Motion Plus controller is the important one. Sensor bar, got both cables over here, that's always good. Wii strap thing, and it is what is it, the 101 model? Yeah, so no GameCube ports on it. I mean, it is dirty, but otherwise in good condition, not too terrible. Let me go over the games real quick. Important part. And that's what kind of convinced me to get it, was more of the games. Just the amount, and definitely this one on top. It's the Wii Sports Resort combo pack with Wii Sports. And this was inside the system. But yeah, this game goes for a nice amount. It's the combo pack. So I think between that and the system, I'll be okay. You know, I don't think I'm adding anything from the collection here, but like I said, it was on an Ask, and I spent a little more than I'd like. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. You know, if you would have spent, it was $52. I don't know if I mentioned that for everything. So an okay deal, right? An okay deal. With Wii's, you know, once it gets past 40, I start to get nervous because the Wii's don't always sell for that much. I know, of course, lately they've sold for more, but not always. Anyways, Just Dance 3, disc only. Wii Fit, of course. Sega Bass Fishing. Julian Michaels Fitness. Santa Claus, thing there. Rudolph. Active War Workouts. Yeah. This Virtua Tennis 4 is actually sealed, so that was kind of interesting. I always keep an eye out for sealed games, even common stuff like that could still be worth a little bit since it's sealed. Six Flags Fun Park, Michael Jackson Experience. This is the Wii Pad or Wii Fit board? I guess not. Survival Cabela's. This one is mostly sealed, but I probably won't be able to see that. It is ripped there, so it's basically open. I don't think anyone counts that as sealed. And Ram Racing. So, yeah, you can see a lot of, not a lot of super great titles in there. There's the sealed game, and then, of course, the double pack, but... so yeah, it's probably something where between that and the Wii itself, I'll be able to make the money back with a little extra, and then, if some of the games are worth something, or at least I'll be able to trade them in. And then, of course, I'll probably sell that controller separately for a little extra. But overall, not horrible, but not the best deal in the world. But that was it for that bundle. Alright, so here's the other part of my weekend pickup, 4th of July weekend pickup. Did pretty well. The flea market, I didn't find as much as I usually do again. I guess just because of the 4th of July weekend, I thought there would be more vendors, but there actually wasn't really as many. I guess it makes sense that people are, planning their vacations and stuff, so they're not thinking about going to the flea market to sell. I mean, there were a decent amount of people there to buy, but the stalls, there were some empty rows and stuff. So let me kind of quickly go over. This is just kind of random garage sale stuff from the 2 days that I kind of was going to garage sales. Not too much. The first here was 3 PlayStation games: Powerpuff Girls, Chemical Extraction, Crash Nitro Kart, and Twisted Metal Black Online, which is kind of an interesting one. And those 3 actually, that was on an ask of someone had just a whole bunch of stuff on their lawn, and asked about games, and they brought out a spindle of games, but it was a huge spindle, so I was like, oh man, they might have some stuff in here, but those 3 games were literally the only 3 games. The others were all PlayStation Magazine demos, so I basically went through and picked out those 3, and then I was just like, how about $1 for these? And then they're like, okay. Kind of a disappointment to only pull out 3 disc-based games on a whole spindle, but it was just funny that I guess it was just their extra or whatever, because they had so many PlayStation Magazine. One random sale, they had Final Fantasy Tactics for $2. It's always surprising, like, this random stuff you'll see, especially because, I saw that. Of course, I picked it up and asked, is this the only game that you have? And they're like, yeah. And I was early to the sale, so it's not like someone beat me to it. It was just, they were like, I think they said like, oh yeah, I just found that one game randomly. It's like, okay. Not sure how that happens, but I mean, it's a decent title at least to get, so I won't complain too much. I got a PS2 for $5. Pretty nice. Actually, I haven't checked if there's a disc in there. There might be. I'll put a note later if there is. But pretty good condition. Dirty, of course, but not too bad overall. Yeah, not too much to say about it. It was kind of an older lady that had it sitting out, and she had two like racing games for PS2, but she wanted $5 a piece for those. Which now I think about it is a little strange that I didn't haggle her on that. I was just like, how much is your PS2? She's like, $5. And then how much are the games? And she's like, oh, $5 a piece on those. You value the system as much as you value the games themselves, which I guess isn't too strange. I mean, even a PS2 racing game is probably worth $5 technically, but. So the actual flea market that I went to, that I go to all the time, I picked up, so like I said, just a few things, nothing too crazy. They have 2 vendors that sell video games usually. The one, he didn't have games the last time I went, but he did have games this time, but nothing too good. He had like a steelbook of Dissidia, but it was kind of broken. Like the back was ripped and the steelbook itself the hinge was broken. And he wanted 15, so I passed on it. And then the other guy who usually has video games, he didn't have anything new. Like I was just there, the 2 weeks before, and literally it looked like the same inventory. So the games that I picked up NFL Street 2 for $2. I think it's worth like 10 or 12. Picked up Pinball Hall of Fame Williams collection for my collection. So that's a collection pickup. Very nice. Let's see. These PS3 games is another one of those. Hey, how much are your games? Oh, they're all $2 a piece, but I'll make you a deal if you want to buy all of them. And I think I literally said, you had to go and say it, didn't you? Like a joking manner, not like mean to him, but yeah, just because this happens to me all the time where I look at a stack and I'm like, oh, how much are the games? And they're like, oh, they're that much a piece, but this much if you want to buy all of them. Well, I think this time he said, I'll make you do if you want to buy all of them. I was like, oh, how about 10? And he was like 12, and then he made it 11 after I found one of them was missing. Like Call of Duty, not a big deal. But everything else is there. And of course I went for it. $11 is a good deal, especially because they did have a Minecraft. Minecraft is worth more than 11, so I'm noticing how dirty that is. You probably can't see it, but I have to clean that for sure. Call of Duty Ghosts. Lost Planet 2. And this is one of those where I'll sell the Minecraft and then I'll keep the ones that I want for my collection and then probably just trade in the rest. So there was one Xbox One game, COD Black Ops 3. Actually might be worth 10 or something. Bioshock 2. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Aliens vs. Predators. Dead Island Riptide Special Edition. It's in Special Edition. Not what it really says, but alright. Rage. And Game of the Year Dead Island Edition. Dead Island Game of the Year Edition. So yeah, nothing too crazy there either, Like I said, this wasn't one of the ones where I was getting crazy pickups, but they're at least decent. That kind of stuff I'll do, all day, because it's $11 for 11 games, so $1 a piece. Not too bad. It's just the work of picking it up and then cleaning it, I guess, is something you have to factor in, but that's not a big deal for me, because that's basically why I'm out there, is to get these pickups, and I clean all the games that I get, so I clean them regardless. Okay, so the last pickup was from an indoor flea market in the nearby to where that other outdoor flea market was. I'd been there before. This one actually had a long while ago. I went there and they were having they were cleaning out their PS2 games, and they were like half off or something, and I bought a bunch. But which is interesting because now that I think about it, because they still had PS2 games, so not sure what happened there. I guess they decided to keep them or decided to restock. But it's one of those where they have a section at the front of the flea market with games, and then of course there's still a flea market in the back, but very few games back there, of course. The good thing about places like this is that when they have common games, they tend to have lower prices on them. So that means that I get to pick up some PlayStation games for a good price. 42 total for some PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 games. Picked up King of Route 66, which I guess is truck driving battler, but interesting cover there. Casper's Spirit Dimensions. Those both complete. And what were those? 5 and 4. So it's pretty good. Always have to pick up PS1. I picked up Roadsters. Siphon Filter 3. I feel like I don't usually see that. I always see Siphon Filter 1, especially 2. I feel like I see almost all the time when there's PS1 games. It's upside down, but don't usually see Siphon Filter 3. This is the Bombing Islands, which I think is like a puzzle game or maybe like a Bomberman kind of ripoff. But this one was funny. It's $4 there. I know it's hard to keep. I'm sure it's hard to keep up with prices and keep up with your own prices, but I was basically looking through like the stacks of PS2 games or PS1 games that they had, and in the case they had this game for 10, and then I found this for 4, and then they also had a disc-only copy for 5. And you know, you can look at it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I guess there's some label there. I don't know. I mean, it looks fine to me. So I just don't understand how that tends to happen. But it was just funny to me because it's like I saw it in the case of like, oh, it's $10. I could use that for the collection, but I won't pick it up for 10. And then, oh, there it is for 4. And oh, there it is again for 5, but just the disc. I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure it's hard to keep up your own inventory. You know. Picked up Croc for 6. You know, that's getting to where I'm at on these, where I don't want to spend more than like 5 or 6 if I can help it. But Croc seemed like it was worth it. Pretty good condition. San Francisco Rush for 3. Pretty good. Michelin Rally Masters. Where is it? Rally Masters Michelin Race of Champions. But just a rally racing game. $3. Good price. And Starwinder for 5. Ultimate Space Race. I'm not sure what kind of game that is. Kind of hard to tell. But that's okay. Still, all stuff that I need for the collection, so I'm always happy to do that. Because it's just straight up buying for the collection. You know, I'm not selling any of those. I'm just getting good prices on stuff that'll go right to the shelf. So happy about that. That's always good. So yeah, that was it for my weekend. Kind of not a huge weekend, but lately I think I've been getting these more common pickups. But I'm happy to still be picking up stuff, still adding stuff to the collection, still having a few things for resale, kind of make a little bit of that money back. But overall, pretty good.